Good morning. It is 10:30 and I just started hiking. So last night I set up my tent in the West Tower campground, ate my dinner, and then the plan for today was to meet up with my parents on their way down from Tennessee. But I got to thinking, and I had a moment of service, and I said, you know, I wish you guys were spending the night in Lake City tonight instead of Valdosta, because then you could pick me up and I could stay in a hotel with you. And so they very quickly said, well, we are staying in Lake City. And I said, oh, well, I guess it's probably too late, you know, to maybe like make arrangements to stay with you. They were like, no, of course not. So they actually came and got me at the campsite last night. I packed up. I did have to wait in the dark for just a little bit, during which time the camp host, Wayne, he said, you want to come sit over here? I've got a much more comfortable chair. And I took him up on that offer. He was really nice. We chatted for a little bit until my parents got there. So I got to stay in a hotel last night with my parents, did some laundry again, took a shower, and there's some water ahead, so I'm going to stop for a second so I can finish this video and then figure out how to get around it, because my goal today is to keep my feet dry, because I have like a 7-mile road walk right after this, so I really want to keep my feet dry for that. But yeah, so it was just really wonderful. And then we got breakfast this morning. They were able to take me to a Publix for my resupply for like the next 8 days, 7 or 8 days or something, which is kind of a big resupply. So that was a really kind of crucial resupply. So I was really grateful that I could go to Publix instead of like a Dollar General or try to figure out how to get off trail, whatever. So it just all worked out so wonderfully. It was so good to see them. So what we're doing today is, you can see I have no pack on. So they are slack packing me for this next 5 miles or 5.5 miles. And then I'm gonna meet back up with them and have lunch. And then I'll get back on trail with my pack and head on out, and they'll keep going down to Tampa. But slack packing is when somebody either takes your whole pack or the majority of the weight from your pack, so that you can do an easier hike. So yeah, I've got 5 miles, roughly 5.5, to get to where we're gonna meet back up for lunch. So I can do it a lot faster without my pack. So I just started, and I'm gonna get through this water with dry feet and just haul some butt and meet up with them for lunch and then take it from there. So I'm really excited, and thank you, Mom and Dad, for being willing to change your plans a little and have me, and let me stay in your hotel room and have breakfast and all that stuff. So anyway, here we go. So while I'm walking, I'm going to give you a little tidbit of information. So Osceola National Forest, which is where I am, you know, in a lot of ways kind of reminds me of Ocala National Forest with all the pines and the palmettos, but it's actually like a lot of swampy areas out here. And part of that is the Okefenokee swamp comes down out of Georgia and actually meets with the Osceola. Let's see, can you see the water? Yep, just crossing a little bridge. Thank goodness there's a bridge. But the Okefenokee swamp actually comes down and meets up with the Osceola National Forest. So there is definitely a lot more swamp out here. And then the other thing I wanted to say was, today at the trailhead where my parents are meeting me is actually the end of another map section. So I'm really excited. This last map section has been like Ocala and Northeast, I think. So as soon as I meet them at the trailhead in a few miles, I start the Swanee and Big Bend section. So I'm really excited about that. So Yep, Okefenokee Swamp and a new map. Little tidbits for you. So just said goodbye to my parents. The goodbyes are always really hard, but the goodbyes are worth it because of the wonderful time spent with friends and family. So we had, I told you they were slack packing me this morning for like 5.5 miles, and then we drove up and got lunch at the Milton's country store, I think it's called, and that was just really nice. So and then while I was there, there was this older gentleman, I think he and his wife and sister-in-law were having lunch after church, and I was in the restroom, and my parents got to talking to them, and they were telling him what I was doing. And then when I came back, he said he wanted to give me a little donation to help out with the hike. And so just what a blessing. Like, he gave me a little bit of money, and again, just a huge blessing. His name was Skipper, so thank you to Skipper. He won't see this video, but still, huge thank you to Skipper, and just a show of how good God is and how he provides for everything. So that was just a really cool experience, and again, just some really kind people, and he felt to do that, and I know that was a blessing from God, and I just pray that God would bless him back tenfold. So yep, just said goodbye to the parents, and then about 6.5 miles, I'm going to Big Shoals campsite, where I should be able to hear the Class 3 rapids of Big Shoals on the Swanee River all night. And it also calls for some rain this afternoon, so, and then into tomorrow. So just hoping I can get to camp and get everything set up before it rains. But again, just happy for the visit, sad for the goodbye, but I'll see them again soon. And I officially started the next map section, so I'm officially heading westbound, and so that's really exciting. So gonna get these last few miles done and hopefully get set up before I get any kind of rain. And then the good thing with the rain is that it usually brings a cooler weather again, so that will be appreciated. But here we go. Okay, it's 3:48 and I went like 6.5 miles, and I was racing against this rain coming in, and it's actually starting to sprinkle now. But I'll show you home for the night. That's the trails where I came from. It's really pretty out here. And then here's the campsite. So I'm kind of tucked back in there. Really nice wide open space. And the rapids. So I get to hear this lovely sound of the river all night long. Ooh, it is so pretty out here. So yeah, gonna get my stuff unpacked in my tent before it starts to rain any harder. Hopefully all the rain will be like done while I'm sleeping. But I'm gonna check and see how late in the morning it should still be raining. But hopefully I can get up and get moving in the morning, because I've got 18 miles to do tomorrow. So we will see how it goes.